1 week ago, I promised you I make a video about something that I talk about a lot, working from your smartphone, because I had this moment.
I have two issues with it. It's just this tiny little bit too big right now to go out, and the connection to the car is not working properly. Not at all. It's going on, off, on, off, on. It drives me completely nuts. And then I had the idea, I have this backup phone for if I go out or anything. It's an iPhone 7. How old is an iPhone 7?
4 years nearly.
4 years old. And since I always challenge people saying like you can work with a smartphone for a full week, here's the deal. We're in the middle of nowhere. Can I say? I don't know. We're in the middle of nowhere, and we will now switch from the Note 10 to the iPhone 7, and I will work for 1 week. It's Thursday now?
It is.
Next Thursday. For 1 week just with the iPhone 7.
So here we are, after 1 week of working with this device compared to my main work device. I have these moments when I do stuff spontaneously, quite spontaneously. So in exactly 5 minutes I switched from this one to this one, which is not an issue number-wise because I have SIM cards in both phones as a backup phone and in a third one as well. But WhatsApp is one of my main work tools, and several other apps. This is iOS, this is Android. There is no way with just one click to like move all the WhatsApp from this device to this device.
Where's the backup? Where's the backup? It's not backing up from G Drive. Why not? That's a problem.
So I took the challenge without any numbers and no syncing and nothing to start from scratch with an iPhone 7. And here's what I learned. One disclaimer, I still love the Note 10 Plus as a work device. It's just huge, which I knew, but it's huge, literally huge. I mean, this is the party move. See that? It's a bit large. Okay, so we have an old camera in this phone compared to the Note. There is no wide angle, there is no zoom. We have a smaller screen, but what I realized is that I use the camera a lot. And many people said the Instagram stories are much better, which I think is because iOS is better in terms of the software for Instagram, or Instagram better for iOS. I don't know, people say it's sharper or what has been happening. But the main lens, the one I make movies off, is much different. So I had to move closer to the objects, I had to change angles, and this was not such a big issue as I thought. In contrast to what I expected, I actually became a bit more creative when it came to make a movie or a story, and for example, taking a picture of a house, like moving around instead of just hitting the button. And I found a video about Karl Lagerfeld. He gave an interview with Magnussen. And at the end, they want to do a photo shooting. And Karl Lagerfeld says he always used to do it with the iPad.
Setzen Sie sich dahin. Gut. Die Beine darüber. Einen Arm, ja, und einen Arm darum und den Kopf dagegen. So. Und dann lassen Sie sich mal schön gehen. Hä? Gucken Sie mal leicht zu mir.
Noch eins?
Also, bisschen zu seriös.
And I was like, whoa, if that guy makes professional photography on the iPad, you should be able to do this on this device. And he said, it's not about the technology, it's about the angle, it's about the story you tell with the picture, and I like that a lot. So minimalism. Second thing I realized, I of course use a blank screen as much as I can, so I have no apps floating around. I always use the search to find an app. It works perfectly fine, so there's no way to switch. I do the same on Android. Swiping up, let me show you. I just swipe up and then the apps are there, and you have technically the same with iOS. So that's the fast way. You can do that on any phone. It doesn't matter if it's iOS or not. WhatsApp, and number-wise, that was actually a cool thing because I put it out in the story on Instagram.
I don't have any contacts, so if no one writes, I don't have the number. It's the only bad thing, because I was too lazy to download an app to transfer WhatsApp from one to the other phone, so I'm starting blank.
And then people started to write me, and I of course didn't have the numbers. So what I have now for the very important numbers, I have a little black book. with contacts in. Not too many, I have to say. I don't show you the numbers now, but numbers I shouldn't lose and I should keep in mind. So I started to remember numbers, which was actually good. It was a fun game, a fun thing. You can say it's stupid, but I kind of liked it because you start clean. And I realized I'm not attached to my emails, but I was attached to WhatsApp and the messages that have been written. Starting from scratch, I realized it's bullshit to be attached to like any messages that have been there. I mean, communication is past. That's another thing. The third thing, the keyboard. Typing is such a pain in the ass. But Siri, in terms of speech to text, is really good.
Quite easy to translate, no matter if it's Google or Siri. Läuft auf beiden mega gut. You have to choose with the iPhone if it's German or English, and Google detects it itself. So nice.
Even on an old iPhone 7. So almost all the texts, I was talking to the phone and it was fine. It was perfectly fine. I love the size, it's small. I love that it's broken. It feels like a throwaway phone. I don't know if you can say that, but I mean, I can take it to a party and if it's gone, it's gone. You get $0 if you sell it on the internet. And the size is just fantastic. I have to say, I definitely understand why people want small phones now. I get it. And the last thing, I definitely see when people say like speed-wise, battery-wise, that's an issue because I mean, in this kind of phone, there's only a smaller battery. That's of course for sure. I mean, I cannot get through a day with this phone close, but not almost. And the energy save mode that I use here, that's how I did the home screen. The energy saving mode, how you call it on the iPhone, whatever, it's not as good as on the Samsung, not even close. So it usually never brings me through a day. That's the one issue I definitely have. So I would say it works. I can, like, the apps that I was using, I was getting them back. I was like putting on the accounts. Since we work with Google, most of the stuff I have in the cloud anyway, so I could search it. But starting from a clean phone and still be able to work productively still works if you switch between the worlds. It's just here that it wouldn't work. And that was a good experiment. So I will keep going, switching back and forth, but it's a tough decision which one to take with. That's my learning from 1 week with the iPhone 7. So not as bad as I thought. What's your experience? Let me know, share your thoughts. Give me some recommendations for good phones. Remember, I do a lot of video editing. I did a lot of video editing here as well. And I'm still in the learning mode. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe. Here. And watch another video here. One last hack with a large phone. If I want a keyboard, I have this very nice foldable keyboard and you can write and type and you're really fast and it's fun. But that's just geek stuff. You really have to like it. And the Blackboard.